Christopher De Santiago with Sports Illustrated's MMA Knockout. Here today with the King of the Barbarians, Jeremy Stevens, a
Yeah,
34-fight UFC veteran, who is set to take on Eddie Alvarez at Knuckle Mania 5 on January 25th. Jeremy, how's it going today, man?
fantastic, brother.
Awesome, man. How did the King of the Barbarians nickname come about?
Man, I heard Mike Tyson say that, in like some interview, something like that. I heard him say that, and I was like, man, like it's a real hard quote, a real warrior, stoic quote, something about being out there and slaying heads. I was like, man, like I don't know, it just something that hit with me, resonated with me.
Awesome, man. You went to Philly for the press conference. How did you feel about the energy? How did you feel about the vibe of the place where you're going to fight at?
Loved it, absolutely enjoyed every bit of it, just embraced it. It is what it is, man. I can only imagine come January 25th, the feelings, the emotion, the energy that's going to be in there. Great crowd I'm expecting, to be completely not on my side. So that's it's something to really embrace into that pain, that ugliness, and that type of grit and grind, what it takes to go in someone's backyard and just handle fucking business. So really embracing that bad guy, that that villain that just don't really give a shit attitude. You're willing to do whatever it takes and go have your moment, believing in yourself, betting it all on you, and embracing it, being resilient, baby. Can't wait.
Yeah, so Eddie's, a seasoned veteran like yourself. Were you thinking about just keeping it respectful, or like when did you decide, like, you know what, F Philly, we're gonna go after their fans?
Yeah, the press conference really is for the fans. It's a chance for them to get involved. But it's I know what I'm coming into. It had nothing to do with like a show or a role. It's just authentic. When you're coming into someone else's hometown, you can't expect to be people going to be cheering and rooting for you. So it's just an opportunity just to embrace that type of ride and that experience, and really just kind of honor the fact that's what it's going to be like when you go into a town like Philadelphia. Their fans are known for being brutal, they're rough, they're a tough crowd, they're gritty. So I'm expecting that, embracing that, and bringing it back to them.
Gotcha. You and Eddie had an interesting face-off. You guys had like a lot to say. One thing that stood out to me is that he said that, oh, you were never a champion, you've never beaten a champion, like stuff like that. So I guess what did you take away from the first face-off of Eddie and the stuff that he was saying?
I took a lot away from that face off, and that's my energy to hone in on, and be able to like be around it, smell it, sense it, can just get a lot from that. I feel real certain in my capabilities, and I can fight at a high level. So there's nothing. There's always going to be talk. There's always going to be some type of chaos. All that's just noise. When you look at a man in his eyes, you can just see it, smell it, and I'm very certain of myself. I'm very excited to go out there and bet it all on me, and prove a lot of people wrong.
For sure, man. I believe you guys brought up your losses in the UFC and stuff like that whenever you guys were talking about each other's careers. Deep down, is there like a really massive respect for Eddie, considering like all the stuff he's done in the sport?
That's why I get up every day and train, brother. That's the respect's always going to be there when you're fighting another man. So it's don't get it twisted. I know what I'm in for. I know what I signed up for. It takes balls to put it on the line like I have, and we're two of the. You play our highlight tapes, man. It's like just us two could take over the fucking world, and that's real shit. So the fact that we're going to go up, give you guys a show, and go out there and compete, and just have fun, do our thing, and I think everybody can really respect that.
Maybe this ends up being like a long, drawn out war. I guess how do you envision this fight playing out on January 25th?
I don't, bro. I just let it come, let it go. Focus on day to day process and getting there, so that I come in just absolutely in a mental monster of magnitude state. If I do my best absolutely every day, I know that I'm going to show up and put it on. And I see myself doing what I've been doing, bro. Just like it was a unanimous decision the last time. But if you watch that last 10 seconds, the dude quit. I broke him. I broke his teammate, the guy I fought before that, and another East Coast guy. So I'm breaking these guys' spirits in there, and you can see it if you really watch down and watch the fights. And that's a scary dude. Like I said, I show up by myself. I know what I'm in for. I don't need nobody. I'm betting it all on me. I'm really embracing taking these opportunities, this grind, these life lessons, like you said about the losses. I've been broken 1,000 times, and I've put myself back together, rose up like the Undertaker, and having fucking serious success in bare knuckle. I feel like that's why I'm home. I'm born built for this shit, and I'm gonna do big business here. And this is just the start of my mark. Going into someone else's territory, pissing all over the fucking ring, marking my territory, and proving my dominance as the baddest motherfucker in BKFC to date. That's me.
Hmm. How much more fun are you having now that you're in the BKFC as opposed to like maybe PFL or boxing or even UFC? Like this new chapter, how fun it has it been for you?
Bare knuckles definitely primal. Like once you get in there, it's a lot different feel. I feel like one of the things that I've been falling in love with is I've been an MMA guy for so long, is I'm actually putting myself around pro boxers and high boxing level coaching and going the complete boxing route. And I've fallen in love with that type of process, man. I've really it's like reinvigorated, refreshed, like rejuvenized my mindset, my love, my passion. I want it more. I'm happy to be there, and it's showing up in my fighting style, switching over my MMA coaches to boxing coaches to a guy I've worked with for a very long time, and Adrian Melendrez, and the Azteca boxing system. So many great coaches, putting myself around like the pro boxing levels. I'm learning and having so much more fun, man. So it's when a man's in love with the process, what can you say? It's great.
Most definitely, man. And I feel like a win over Eddie Alvarez, it could open a lot of doors for you. Not to look past him in any way. Like, do you like what does a win over Eddie Alvarez do for you in the BKFC?
Opportunity, big dog. Big opportunity. Like I said, big business here in bare knuckle. Just focus at this task at hand. I get there, I do the way that I want to do it, highlight it, devastating little heathen style. Go out there and show that I'm not just talk. I'm really about what I say, and put myself on the map again. And I think they'll realize fuck man, he really risked it all. Went out there and had the best performance. That's all I'm focused on is Jeremy Stevens being his absolute best, fast, ferocious footwork, head movement, just can't hit me, fucking pain punishing shots. I got it all, bro. And I'm just embracing and embarking on that. And then boom, there's always that, the days I don't feel good. It's that opportunity. You go out there, you highlight a motherfucker, more opportunity. You go out there and do it again, more opportunity, and just the way that I'll do it. I ain't old. I ain't getting like slow. I ain't fucking stiff. I ain't looking like, dude, I'm about that fucking business. And I keep improving time and time again. And I'm banking on myself going out there having a big night.
It's awesome, man. And you're going into enemy territory. What's going to be the walkout song for you in Philly?
Stay tuned, brother. Can't describe it all. Stay tuned. You'll like it.
Eddie, Eddie Alvarez said the same thing about. I think he might walk out to like some Rocky music. So we'll see what that's about.
Yeah, that's cute.
Awesome. Mike Perry versus Jeremy Stevens. Any interest in that? I guess in 2025.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Mike Perry's a big guy. Obviously the pay would be crazy, but if that opportunity kind of comes across it, yeah, people probably expect to see that. But he's a bigger guy doing things up at the heavier weights. There's weight classes for a reason. I get it. It's like an enticing, but if the opportunity comes around, this is bare knuckle. I saw some holes in his game. If you look at like boxing, I feel like my boxing is definitely a lot better as far as hands and footwork. You saw my boxing fights, and he was fighting Jake Paul. I was fighting Jose Aldo and some high level guys. So and can continue to do that type of improvement. So I don't think he's on my level as far as like hands wise, but his power, his punches. Obviously, there's always opportunity and styles make fights, right? Weight classes. Oh, again, putting it all on the line, going up opportunity, man. There's lots of variables out there. Stay tuned.
And last question for you. Just want to thank you again for the time. I guess do you put more stock like at this moment in your career? Do you put more stock into fighting like a world champion like Kai Stewart or like Franco Tenaglia, or is it more towards like bigger names like Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez? Like,
Yeah,
What do you kind of
no
prefer?
one knows those guys' names. You know, they haven't done what we've done. There's opportunity out there. There's bigger names, bigger fights, bigger experience, bigger paydays. People with this type of level, you know, these guys are just starting out. You know, of course they want to make their name, but no, it's like I don't give a fuck about being a champion. I don't give a fuck about a belt. You know, this is bare knuckle. This is a different style. I welcome that, and I want to fight. I'm prize fighter at the end of the day, bro. I give a fuck about the biggest bag, the biggest paydays, the biggest fights. I don't care about no champion and who they are. They need us because they need a name, you know. And it's like, bro, we'd rather chase bigger paydays, bigger opportunities, dream fights. You know, look at all these dream fights that are happening, like MMA and bare knuckle and boxing. Like this is real wild. You know, the fact that Connor had fought with Floyd Mayweather, that you know he might be fighting with one of the Paul brothers, who's like he's a fucking trash ass. But it's like the fans, you know, it's like one of them. We're like, yeah, what if, you know, it's wild. Tyson fighting Jake Paul. I mean, it's those are the fights. People are that seems to be what people really want. They want to see a YouTuber against like this and that. You know, they want the payday fights. They want the fans want to put together the fights. You know, they're not as far as like as champions, like I'm concerned, they don't even have a name. None of those like really big champions. Luis Palomino, he was a real one. You know, I'll actually give him a shout out because he's like one of us, and he's got a belt, and he's was actually the first to do it, and bare knuckle, and he's continued to do it and have success at that later point in his career. It's like you tell me, bro. You want to go fight some fucking turd that no one knows about, you know, and he's trying to make a name off for himself, or you want to go fight for a bigger bag, of fucking exciting fight, site that fucking pops you right up in the fucking morning, you know, like, hey, I got to go train for this fucking guy.